I don't want to jinx anything, but is it okay to be excited for the MCU again? I mean, Thunderbolts absolutely slapped, and the trailers for the Fantastic Four are looking, dare I say, fantastic.
Say that again?
I know, it's an overused joke. But not everyone is as excited as I am. A lot of people are especially taking issue with the look of one character from the trailers, a character that is mostly CGI that they think was done a lot better in 2007. I'm obviously talking about Galactus. Can't really think of anyone else it could be. I mean, last time I checked, Galactus was a giant space cloud. Now it's just some guy in a suit? Lame. So I'm gonna use my VFX skills to rectify this glaring mistake. The first thing I did was take this shot of Galactus from the trailer and made a clean plate using Fusion. I did this by moving the footage over with the transform node, making sure to line up the bridge, then masking out the part that covered Galactus. I did this several times until he was all covered. Then I went over that with the paint tool to clone out some of the repeated details so that it didn't look too much like a loop. Then I tracked that back into the original shot. Now that I had my shot prepped, I need to add our glorious cloud. That was weird. Anyways, there's a real-time smoke simulation engine called Embergen. It lets you make all kinds of things like smoke, fire, and explosions all in real time. Unfortunately, my computer is what scientists refer to as a potato, so it would probably explode if I tried to run it. Thankfully, they have some pre-made assets that you can download for free, including this pack of clouds, which works perfectly for what I need. So I threw a couple of those into Blender and stretched them out to make like this pillar of smoke. Then I lit the scene using an HDRI. Now, volumetrics like clouds notoriously take forever to render, and as I mentioned, I do everything on a potato. But I had a plan on how to get around that. I just rendered one frame at high quality, which still took a while, and then I brought that into Fusion where I did some basic color correction to make it match the shot. Now it just looks like a flat picture, but here's where my plan comes in. I added a displace node and plugged the cloud into both inputs. Now if I animate the X and Y refraction, it adds some nice organic motion to it that's driven by the original image, and it makes it look more 3D. As long as you keep this subtle, it can look pretty nice. And here is the final shot. I think it turned out pretty good. Be sure to like and... Alright, fine. Let's talk about the Silver Surfer. Boy, this is gonna be a fun comment section. So ever since she was revealed in the trailer, people have been saying that the Silver Surfer looks off. Now, putting aside the obvious reason that some people on the internet are upset about the look, I do think there's a reason why people think she looks weird, but it's not the CGI quality. Despite what lots of people on the internet are saying, this CGI is more realistic than the 2007 Silver Surfer. Now, don't get me wrong, he actually looks really good for 2007, like it holds up pretty well. But if you look close at the details, you see that he's the same level of reflective all over. But the new Silver Surfer actually has variation in how reflective she is. She has scratches and scuffs, which is a lot more realistic looking. So if it isn't the CGI, why do people think she looks off? Again, obvious reason aside. I think I figured out what it is, and it's something subtle. The eyes. So in the comics in the 2007 movie, Silver Surfer is silver all over, including the eyes. So even though we don't normally see all silver people walking around in real life, our brains can accept it as one material and it doesn't trigger as weird to us. But in the new movie, she has these kind of glowy blue eyes. Now I understand why the filmmakers might want to do this, since humans convey a lot of emotion through their eyes. The problem in this case is that we're already suspending our disbelief with the metal body, but when you pair it with these weird glowing eyes that we don't really see in real life, it triggers in our brains as this can't be real and banishes it into the uncanny valley. So the problem isn't whether or not Silver Surfer should be a man or a woman. You can argue about that all day, but I think an objective reason that this version looks so weird to a lot of people is the eyes. And just to test whether or not it would make a difference, I took the silver eyes from the Silver Surfer render I just did and tracked them onto her eyes, and honestly I think it does make a difference. That could just be me though, so do let me know what you think of it down below. And you know, this may be an impossible ask, but could we try to be civil in the comments, please? This has been another exciting episode of CGI getting wrongly blamed for something that was really just a design choice. You can watch the previous episode right here, where I dare to defend the CGI on MODOK.